Hey there everybody, Professor Cloud here with our next episode of Professor Builds the Satisfactory. We're going to continue pushing towards the end of Phase 4, which, I mean, obviously that's what we've been doing the whole time, but, I mean, I feel like we're finally getting there. We've still got, don't get me wrong, a lot of work to do. The first thing, though, that we're going to do is we're going to remove that truck station that's running between the heatsink production and the cooling system production. And we're going to replace that with a drone port. And we're going to remove the drone port that's currently running between aluminum casings and nitrogen for the fused modular frames to do that. Now, that might sound like, well, Brian, isn't that going to remove the production of fused modular frames? No, what it means is that I'm just going to have to manually take aluminum casings over, which actually is going to work out better. And the reasoning behind that is a lot of these recipes require huge numbers of aluminum casings per item. So in the case of fused modular frames, 50 per frame. Therefore, there's really no point in just sending 50 at a time or 100 at a time, which is all the drone is currently doing. You basically should go ahead and send 500 at a time or 1,000 at a time so that there's plenty of casings there for the production to just be continuous. And right now that's just not happening. So it's going to make more sense to leverage these drone ports in that way. So let's go ahead and do that. And then the other thing that we want to do is take a look at using the excess circuit boards over near aluminum casings so that we can potentially produce computers in another way. So in any case, let's go ahead and jump back in and let's get started. All right, we are here at where the circuit boards are currently being produced, and as you can see, they're just sitting there. So what we're going to do is run these circuit boards into a storage, I think. Actually, real quickly, before we do anything, the whole point of this is for computers. So we're either doing crystal oscillators and circuit boards, or we're doing quick wire rubber and circuit boards. I think the best thing is the Caterium. I think the easiest thing to do is Caterium. So not the easy, yeah, cause the easiest, because we, like, for example, right now we've got crystal oscillators being produced. I think we need 350 total. Yes, I've got that written down. Whereas we need 700 computers, and to therefore get to 700 computers, we would need another probably 700 or so crystal oscillators. So I think it's definitely easiest to do quick wire because we have a very continuous running of quick wire to two different locations. So that's 4 circuit boards per computer. We can't do that here. Well, actually, we could do that here. We've got quick wire over there. Wonder if I could split the quick wire to run over here and run quick wire and the circuit boards to create more computers. All right, hold on. Let's see if this is full. This is full. Okay. Yeah, we can do this right here. Now, I'll be honest, I don't remember what the computers were for. They're not for heats, turbo motors. No. What are the computers for? Oh, that's right. It's all part of nuclear pasta. No, that's not what I want. And specifically for the pressure conversion cube, we need to create radio control units. That's what the computers were for. Yeah, and so because we're already using crystal oscillators for those, I don't want to have to create crystal oscillators also for the computers. Yeah, okay. So we're going to need a manufacturer. Which means I'm going to need more space. Okay, good. All right, now let me get rid of you. And I'm going to run you into a splitter. That runs into there. And then we'll run a I don't know. I'm going to have to do that from up there, more than likely. Okay, let me get up there. Okay. Alright, so that's in circuit boards into there. The next thing that we need to do is quick wire, and then we'll figure out rubber after that. So the great thing here is that I have, and actually let me do it this way. So I've got an extra port here, or output here. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be producing computers, circuit boards, quick wire. Okay, very good. I still have to bring it power, obviously, but now all I just need to do is go get rubber. The best thing is probably... Actually, let's... That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to see if I had 50 here yet. 22. Not even close. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and start doing the drone port rework. And I need to go all the way to nitrogen anyway. We'll see where we are with... Hold on a minute. Do I have any rubber in my... Oh, hold on a minute. I have rubber right here. I'm sorry. I'd forgotten about that. Okay, how do I want to do this? I think the best thing is to just do... is to just put a storage unit right here. And then go from here to here. Just like that. And then we just need to box up these computers, because then the computers are going to get used for radio control units. Yeah, so I'm going to actually have to take the computers from here to then create radio control units, of which we need 500 for turbo motors and 200 for the pressurized conversion unit, I think is what it's called. So a total of 700. Okay. All right, now that that's, well, okay, never mind. I was getting ready to say it's done, and then I just realized that I haven't actually done power here yet. We have a power pole here that is empty. There we go. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Let's go do our work with the drone ports. And to be honest, what I really should have probably done is gone ahead and gotten rid of that drone port so that I could take the aluminum casings here. But, whoa. Okay, well, that didn't work. All right, so here's the way I'm going to do this, is I'm going to put all of my aluminum casings in here, and then we're going to run, how many of these taken per minute? 75 per minute? Okay. So now, all right, a little bit cleaner. 198. We need 350. So we've still got a ways to go. However, I absolutely can grab, you know, say 100 and start working on the nuclear pasta. All right, let's go ahead and head to power, or to aluminum. And then we'll head to the oil fields and to the heat sink locations so that we can remove those truck locations. Then we'll figure out what's next. And actually, I'm actually going to stop here for a second. All right, so this is producing AI limiters. All right, let me take these out. Okay. There's still some in here, but let me put... because these are producing crystal oscillators. Let me see how many of those I have. 251. We need a total of 350. No, we need more than that. Yeah, we need more than that. We need 350 just for the nuclear pasta. We need another 350 for the radio control units. Or maybe that's what maybe that 350 is for the radio control units. That might be for the radio control units. Okay, so we might actually be... By the way, this is another reason why I wanted to remove the drone port for aluminum casings, because I'm going to need aluminum casings here to produce the necessary 700 radio control units that we need. So there was really no point in maintaining that transportation, because aluminum casings just they're needed everywhere. That's the reason why I said in the last episode that we're going to need to increase our aluminum production. Those will probably be the first places that we use minor Mark IIIs. Okay, let's go ahead and go do what we know for a fact is going to work. By the way, I'm even thinking about replacing this truck station with a drone port for coal to get rid of all of this crap. All right, so let's... Okay, that's done. Now, I'm going to let the aluminum casings now go into a industrial storage unit. Okay. Is that all of the aluminum casings that I have? I believe it is. Wow, I have some excess heavy modular frames that I really don't need, but okay. Okay, there. I was getting worried there for a second that they weren't producing. All right, so we'll let that go ahead and run. All right, now let's go head over to heatsink and cooling system territory. And we're going to lay down... Well, we're going to tear up the truck stop and lay down the drone ports. Actually, hold on a minute. Let me stop here. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I was getting ready to say, let me stop here so that I can drop off this excess fuel, but I can put the excess fuel into the new drone port. Here's an interesting thing. I'm not going to need coal over here anymore. Yeah, I'm not going to need coal over here anymore. All right, let me... Let's see. Import. I'm going to want to turn it this way. Oh, crap. I dropped off all of the aluminum casings and I'm going to need... Well, shoot. I'll see you in a few. Okay, we're back. Now, if we put the drone port here... Alright, dude. You're going to have to stop. The load path. Cancel. Disable autopilot. There we go. Delete path. Yeah, for some reason it won't let me delete this particular path. Anyway, okay. Move it out. I don't know why this is telling me I have no room for anything. Oh, the copper. Okay, so let me do that. 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 And that. Okay. All right, outgoing is from here. Okay. Yeah, so this is the thing that I dislike, and I hope they fix it in the upcoming update, is that I've deleted the path, yet the nodes stick around. It's very, very annoying. That's not what I wanted to do. Alright, so let's take all of that as well. Alright, then what I need is to take the heat sinks from there. And do that. Okay? Now, I just need to get fuel into here. Which I should be able to split from right here. I could have sworn the game would allow me to... There. Oh crap, I did... Yeah, there's the output. There we go. But it's not. Okay. Alright, then what we'll do is we'll put... that there. And that to there. And then this... I don't know that the game's going to let me do this. Well, it'll let me do it, but... Alright, we'll go around the front. No. There we go. Okay. All right, this is good stuff. Okay, now let's go get rid of... I'm not going to do this for everyone. Don't worry, because I know you all would be bored out of your freaking gourds if I did do that. But I'm going to get rid of a few of them anyway. I should probably have this equipped just in case. I will be glad when I can get rid of that. In the very near future. Okay, there's the truck station. Okay, I think that'll work. What is this? Mark II? Okay. And we'll put the rest in here. Okay, so the incoming is going to be the heat sinks. That's then what we're going to send down to here. That will replace this thing. So right now, this thing is not producing anything. Just out of curiosity, how many do we have? Let me take them. Because we need a total of 1,800, and I don't think we're there. I think we're around 7. Okay, let me go ahead and get this thing power. And then I'll name it. And I'll set up the drone at the other location. Okay, so this has now got power. I don't need to do anything for... Alright, let's go ahead and do this. Right, I'm going to do that. And I am going to remove all of you. Okay, good. That'll make things a little bit easier. Alright, okay, I think what I'm going to do... One is get rid of this. Number 2 is I think I'm going to put in a lift. Okay. So that I can take this to there. And then this to there. Okay. That should be it. All right. This port name is going to be heat sinks to cooling. Okay. All right, let's head back. I still have to get rid of the coal stuff as well. Because there's no need for that anymore. No, I do still need coal. That's right, I do still need coal because... Why is the truck there? I just don't need coal over here. You know what? There we go. You're done. Yeah, I just don't need coal over here. I still needed coal because it's the only way to produce aluminum of some kind. Some piece of the aluminum requires it. I should have grabbed some extra plastic. Ooh, 7 coupons. Yay! Cool. Alright, let's put the drone in so that this can be running. Oh, before I do that, let's call this copper ingots. Heat sinks. Okay. And I have to set... There we go. So these two are definitely going back and forth. Drone. It took its heat sinks. And it's off. Alright, do I have any extra copper ingots? I do not. Okay. We are in good shape. We are doing exactly what I want at this point. It still looks like spaghetti code, but as I keep saying, I don't know that there's another way of doing this. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We are going to take these cooling systems that I have and bring them back. We're also going to go grab as many aluminum casings as we can so that we can go ahead and take those to the fused modular frames. By the way, when I was talking about switching to minor Mark IIIs for the bauxite veins, that'll also tie in with us moving aluminum production from here over to just down where the bauxite's coming in. We'll just have to bring water in a little bit better way, but all right. So let's take all of that. Ooh, I have excess fuel. 33. We're getting there. Let's see how the radio control units are doing. Our computers are doing. So we got 100. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Because we're still maintaining production up to there, which means they're not going to be being consumed as fast. Or, I forget what that is that gets produced into supercomputers. Oh, it's high-speed circuits, isn't it? But yeah, this is now producing... I mean, it's not producing enough to be as fast as we need, but it's doing a good job. Let me put any extra rubber that I have in here. There we go. And see, the problem here is I just picked up 250 or so, or 450 or so aluminum casings. That's only going to produce 8 fused modular frames because they need 50 each. Oh, screw it. But I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. All right, that's got 98 left. All right, so we've got 200 in here now. We still need another 150. And there's 50 here. So that's 250. There's another... Yeah, okay. So we've got exactly enough heavy modular frames. Let's go put the aluminum casings in here. Oh, I had 600. Okay. That's better than I thought. So that'll produce another, what, 12? Oh, I don't need that anymore. that anymore, or that. Okay. All right, let's head to the hub and see what we can do next. And I'm sorry to say, but we're probably going to have to wait. Because I think at this point, I need to wait to have enough computers and crystal oscillators so that I can create radio control units. And I may even need to wait for fused modular frames to be finished, or I switch priority because radio control units, I'm almost positive, need aluminum casings. They do. All right, let's see how many crystal oscillators we have. 274. Why so few? Oh, I'm out of quartz. I'm out of quartz crystal. Okay. I also have a bunch of coal. All right, let me go get rid of this fuel and coal. Okay, there's that. I also have to convert 3 aliens. 3 alien DNAs. Yeah, at this point, I might as well just go ahead and do stuff as capsules. I don't think there's any good reason for me to keep the... I do, though, want to craft some more... Hold on a minute. How many do I have? 7? Yeah. I definitely want to craft some more... I forget what they're called. Vitamin inhalers. Okay. And those will go there. Excellent. I really need to craft some more filters as well. Speaking of, let me go get rid of this concrete. Let's take a quick look and see how much I need from a filters perspective. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna need to go get some more. Let's go do that real quick. Okay. I don't need to be carrying around that much concrete, but, you know. Oh, well. Oh, yeah, I also have these cooling systems. Okay, so how many cooling systems do we have? 1, 2, that's 8. Yeah, that's 8. So 1,000. All right, so we're 800 short of what we need. We have enough for turbo motors. So if I could start crafting radio control units, I could start crafting the necessary turbo motors while the remaining cooling systems are being produced so that we can eventually produce thermal propulsion rockets. That's the whole idea. We've got enough of the modular engines. If I needed to, I could say we had enough fused modular frames, but I still need turbo motors. And I need 1,000 cooling systems for the turbo motors. So until I can get enough crystal oscillators to create radio control units, which is what we're going to do right now, we're going to go grab a crap ton of crystal. Why am I stuck? Whoa. I hit an invisible wall. That was very strange. Alright, let's go get ourselves some more crystal. Yeah, there's no easy way to maintain travel across those lines, unfortunately. Pretty sure we have to go to this side. You know what? I'm going to switch this. I'm going to switch this to quartz. Because there is just no good reason to have this much silica. Although, it would help speed up aluminum production. Alright, the rest of it I'm gonna... Really wish there was a way to grab multiples at a time. You know, like you do in Windows Explorer. Okay. Let's get out of here. Oh, thought I was going to be able to maintain it. Yeah, see, the pole keeps getting in the way. Alright, there's that. So it's got 274. We need 350 total. Alright, let's go ahead to aluminum. We're going to do some other... I know this is probably boring for a lot of you, and I apologize for that, but we're kind of at this weird spot in the phase where the pieces that I need require stuff from too many disparate locations that there's no way to set up without a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work. Like a lot of drones. To set up really good, truly good automation. Alright, I'm going to do something here. What I'm going to do... Okay, I'm going to put a industrial storage this way. Let me up. And do that. And then I'm going to put all of my excess in here. Like that. Then we'll run like that. Oops, nope, 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 nope. Like that. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit cleaner. That is absolutely a little bit cleaner. Yeah, for some particular reason, silica just doesn't get produced out of there nearly as well as I think it should. 75 per minute? Oh, well, hold on. There's part of the problem. It says 75 per minute, but I... These are weird numbers. 180 per minute, 270 per minute, but yet it's only using 18 cubic meters of water and 12 bauxite each time? The numbers just don't add up. It's almost like these are two separate formulas. To the point of where I'm wondering if there's a way to double the amount of alumina, well, the amount of silica production, really, at the end of the day. I may look online, maybe in some of the subreddits and whatnot, to see if there is, like, people created a perfect formula for, or a perfect layout for coal, and it's 8-3 with respect to, 8 coal power generators to 3 water extractors. And then, obviously needing the amount of coal is pretty easy and straightforward. I wonder if anyone has done something similar for bauxite and water to silica production. So I may look online and see if there's anyone who's already done that work for me. Save me a little bit of time. Okay, what I want to do now as the last thing for the episode is I want to go grab... Okay, we're at 40. Still a long ways to go. I want to go grab some plastic. And we're going to make a trip over to where the aluminum is coming down onto the beaches. One of the things I probably should try and do, because I'm almost positive I haven't done it, is to do a scan to see if there is any bauxite. Yeah, see, these guys are producing way more silica than is necessary. Alright, let me flush you. Let's let that go. Alright, I'm going to go run over. Actually, let me grab those real quick. I don't think I really need to go grabbing cooling systems yet. I do want to go grab some rubber, though. pulling it back. Whoa. Except for the rubbers over there. Okay. This is impure, right? Yeah, that's impure. I was just curious. I've got 2 more impures over here. I was just curious as to whether or not maybe I could get them to be... Ooh, take call. Could be used for additional plastic production. I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, this is never filling. Hmm. Oh. Okay, that's fine. Oh well. That's okay. Whatever. Hmm. Can't believe we're full up on fuel. And I just realized I don't need this drone port anymore. Huh. Man, you really... Okay, here's a suggestion for the devs. If we have a way to increase production, we should also have the ability to reduce production. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't know how you would go about it. But if we have power shards to increase production of a particular building, then we should also have something that can reduce the production rates. Because right now, that's actually what's killing me. I truly believe that that's what's killing me more than anything else. Alright, we're going to head back to the hub. We're going to drop off all of this rubber. And then start planning for more than likely radio control units, because then that's the last thing that we need for turbo motors. Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Okay. So... Did I just pick up the wrong thing? That's raw quartz. I picked up the wrong thing. No, I didn't. Somehow I put raw quartz in there along... Oh, I see what I did. Crap. Quit. Don't. This is way too hard. Okay. There. Okay. I'll put that in there too. Put that in there. Okay. By the way, the reason why I have all this back here is so I can put up more statues. I don't have any tickets on me, do I? I do not. Okay. All right. Well, that's where I am going to wrap up this particular episode. Obviously, we've still got a lot of work to do. But the next thing, I think, is getting radio control units being produced. We should be very close to being able to do that. And that's going to be cooling systems. For radio control units, actually, it is computers, crystal oscillators, and aluminum casings. That'll produce the necessary... We need a total of 700, but we need 500 just for turbo motors. And I really want to get turbo motors done so that we can actually start producing thermal propulsion rockets. We've got the modular engines. We've got the fused modular frames. Theoretically, we've got enough cooling systems, but we need cooling systems for the turbo motors, and we only need 250 of those. But... yeah, so, I mean, there's still work to be done. The other thing is, for nuclear pasta, for the pressure conversion cube, we need another 200 radio control units and 100 fused modular frames. So I'm wondering if maybe I don't do them first. So in other words, get the necessary 200 radio control units, grab 100 fused modular frames, get them crafting first, because I know for a fact we've got the necessary 2,000 copper powder, so that we can then start crafting the particle accelerators, which we need for the nuclear pasta. We need the particle accelerator to create the nuclear pasta, and they only create half per minute. And we need 100. So, I mean, that's going to be 200 minutes. That's going to be, what, 3.5 hours? 3 hours and 20 minutes? So, maybe we do that, focus on getting 200 radio control units first, so that we can then craft the necessary pressure conversion cubes, and then stand up a particle accelerator. What do we need for a particle accelerator? We need turbo motors. Of course we do. and supercomputers, 25 fused modular frames, 50 cooling systems. The cooling systems I'm not worried about. Even the 25 fused modular frames I'm not worried about. And the supercomputers I'm definitely not worried about. They've been backed up like crazy. But the 10 turbo motors, we may actually have to buy those just so that we can spin up a particle accelerator. I think that's what we're going to do in the next episode then. Let's get 200 radio control units completed. And then we'll start working more towards nuclear pasta because of how long it's going to take, and then we can switch back to the thermal propulsion rockets. So with that, as always, if you've been enjoying the content, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe, or comment button, and hopefully I'll see you in the next episode. Talk to you soon.